I'm not sure that when I wrote that novel, Black Star Rising, that I was thinking at all about plausibility. I can give you a backstory on it, which is bizarre, interesting. That I wrote the two before Black Star Rising, Lick Shot and Professor X. I wrote them set in the now, I think set in the contemporary time, which was, let's not ask when it was, but it's a couple of decades ago. And I sent them off to the publisher, and they said, yeah, we'll publish them, but to use your language, they're not plausible. This wouldn't happen now. Mainly, it's because I'd created this high-ranking black cop. There wouldn't be one. They said it's impossible. The readers will just throw it away and say, "No, fantasy." So what we'll have to do is set it in the future. And that's how I came to write the first two, set in the future, because the idea that there'd be a high-ranking black cop in the UK at that time was not believable, they said. So after I'd done those first two, I thought, well, if we're going to set something in the future, let's set it properly in the future. And that's how I came to write Black Star Rising. That was 1,000 years from now. But my concern really there was, well, first of all, in terms of audience and the plausibility for which audience, that I wasn't really writing for any readership other than the UK black readership, maybe the American black readership. That was what I was focused on. Wasn't really considering anyone else. And within that, I knew that science fiction had very few black people existing within it, certainly UK science fiction. And so there was this thought, we've been written out of the future, we've disappeared, So the act of writing Black Star Rising was to establish a couple of things. One, we will be in the future, and that was the first thing. Two, that counter to the stereotypes that sometimes prevalent, we can be rocket scientists as well as rock scientists, could be geologists, and linguists, all the other types of expertise, scientific expertise perhaps, but maybe not also from the humanities. There is no bar on what we can achieve in terms of thinking. That back then may have been somewhat controversial, or at least contrary to the stereotype. And then the third thing was that it's about who are we? Are we always going to be defined by white supremacy, as this phrase is? And what I was trying to do was say, well, okay, if we bring all these black people together in one place, then we can demonstrate or show characters who live much more full lives that of greater individuation, of greater specificness, of that can emerge more fully human than when they're being flattened by the pressures of a racialized society. So that was a third project or aim within the novel. And so, in terms of plausibility, the idea is, okay, here's a novel to the readers, can you see this? Can you share this future? Can you dream it as well as I've dreamt it? Can you see it? And that was the aim of that novel. It was, I think, and the quote comes from Marcus Garvey right at the beginning of it. I always remember the quote. It says, "Uplift yourself, you mighty race. You can accomplish what you will." That's the quote at the beginning. That was Marcus Garvey, one of the black nationalists from America. I was very into Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, and that's what I was writing. So the audience was quite specific, and the novel, insofar as the novel succeeded at that third aim, which was to bring fully fledged characters who were black into science fiction, then the novel can be read by others. But its aim, at the point at which I wrote it, it wasn't that. Its aim was very specific about writing black people into the future. I could have, at the time, I remember, I think New Romancer had come out, and William Gibson's cyberpunk novel. And I really wanted to write a cyberpunk novel, but I realised that we just weren't in the future, even in the classical science fiction. So I thought I better write that first before I write anything else, you know. So we were sort of following the literary history of science fiction, as well as embedding ourselves in that or tackling that genre.